Hello and welcome to Scary Town, the Goosebumps and Fear State Review Show. I'm your host, Nightmare Nemo, and this week we're going to review a long-awaited classic Goosebumps tale, Night of the Living Dummy. There's the back. So you'll see that it says now major motion picture. So this is one of a couple of books that were reprinted and given different art to, coincide with the movie. I wanted to do something special to Goo. So we'll bring out a very special guest. Okay. And this is my Slappy the Dummy. And so say hi to the people. Hello, I'm Slappy. Nice to meet you. So you can see that he is based more on the appearance of Slappy from the TV show. This is a story about a monster. A monster a lot of us may be familiar with, the green-eyed monster of jealousy. And also of growing up with a sibling, there's what goes with that as well. The sibling rivalry can get pretty heated sometimes. And in this story, it's identical twins, Chris and Liddy. The story starts out with the sisters going into this abandoned house, and because they're just kind of curious, just to explore the house, and so they do, and then they find in the trash is a dummy, not too much like this one, and they're like, oh yeah, that's really cool, I can't believe somebody would actually throw this away. And Liddy is the one that calls dibs on it. It's like, oh, this is really cool. And so she starts practicing with it, and she's actually pretty talented with learning very quickly ventriloquism, and she's pretty good at actually coming up with her own jokes as well. And so of course it starts this rivalry where Chris becomes jealous of Liddy because she's going around entertaining her friends with her dummy and her ventriloquist act, and she incorporates a lot of comedy and stuff, and so they think it's pretty funny, and then it just kind of snowballs where one of her friends asks their mom if Liddy can come to her birthday party and kind of like perform, and he's like is actually a paying gig, offers like $20 to perform for the birthday party. And it's just like Chris is just like, like, this is not fair, she's getting all the attention, like I bet I could do anything she can do, and on the other hand, Liddy is like, like, she doesn't want Chris to like mess with her dummy because they're always sharing things because there's twins, and so she feels like this is something of my own, this is something that makes me unique, and I don't want you messing with it. And so this prompts Chris to want to get a dummy of her own because she's always copycatting her sister, and she just wants to prove that she's superior. And so their dad finds this other dummy in a pawn shop, and it's called they call him Mr. Wood, and I think he wears like this flannel and denim kind of outfit. There's a lot of instances where you think you know what's going on, and there's really like this fake out where there's this whole joke being played by Liddy because she's just trying to put down her sister. Her sister's trying to follow in her footsteps and prove that she's just as good as Liddy, and using using her own dummy in her act. And she plays this whole joke where all these bad things start happening, and it makes it look like Mr. Wood is alive, but he's not. And you'll see later on, of course, it becomes a little bit more true, and you'll just have to see it. Things spiral out, and it escalates to the point of there's no more hiding, there's no more subterfuge. Things come out into the light, and it just speeds along into the conclusion. And it's most people, if you've read it, you know that Slappy is really not the antagonist, not the villain in this story. Although it seems like it is, but it's kind of a bait and switch, because Mr. Wood is the villain in the story, and then at the very end, Slappy is like, oh, that guy, like, that we got rid of that guy, so now Slappy is free to terrorize the girls. And so most people already know that, so it's just kind of interesting. I like to draw the parallel between Night of the Living Dummy and the first Friday the 13th movie, where a lot of people from the outset, they see Jason Voorhees as the face of the franchise, and they assume that all the movies are about him. And so when they go back to see the first one, they're like, where's Jason? And then because the whole thing is his mom is the killer, and so it's very similar in that respect. It pretty much sets up the formula for the other Night of the Living Dummy sequels to go forward, where it sets up where kid gets the Slappy and kind of grows attached to it, and then slowly finds out that the dummy is alive and wants to take control of them. But it plays this thing where if the kid tries to tell the parents or any authority figures, the dummy plays like it's not alive, and nobody believes them, obviously, because that sounds crazy. It definitely plays up the jealousy of both girls, really, and the sibling rivalry, to the point where it becomes more a struggle between the two and less about the dummy getting into things and causing chaos, where that really happens in the last quarter of the story. So I'm guessing the moral is, because at the very end they have to help each other to fight off the dummy. So in the end, they set aside their differences and realize, we're being stupid and petty, and really, we're sisters. We should help each other, and stop being, crabby to each other. And so that's a pretty good lesson for kids to pull away with. And it's the birth of one of the most popular characters in Goosebumps lore, so that's another good thing too. So as far as negatives, just kind of like initially, if you come into it thinking that Slappy is the villain, you might be kind of underwhelmed. But Mr. Wood is a capable antagonist in his own right, so there's not too much difference, really, if you're nitpicking it between Mr. Wood and Slappy. They pretty much operate in the same way. They insult people and call the kids slaves and stuff. So you're really not missing all that much. It's just the name change and their appearance, and really they're kind of interchangeable. Plenty of stories like Child's Play and that kind of stuff, where people are afraid of the creepy looking dolls and that kind of stuff. And what's more creepier than this kind of dumb doll? So it's iconic for a reason. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next review. And say goodbye, Slappy. Goodbye, Slappy. Alright. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.